few hours ago of that Anthony Joshua has decided to retire from boxing after the fatal car crash. Of course, we've been in the know about the unfortunate incidents that happened where he lost his friends some days ago when he happily landed in Nigeria with his bestie, Latif, and his coach, Sani Gambi, who flew down with to Nigeria to enjoy some days with Anthony Joshua's family. One thing about Anthony Joshua is that he loves coming to Nigeria. He loves spending time with his family members. And one or two pictures that have been shown online where he was with his family members, you won't believe it. They were all having a photo session, just casual photo session in, one of his family members' house. And Anthony was seated right on the floor with his cousins and nephews on his right and on the left, while he had his mother and maybe his grandpa seated on the chair. He just brought out that child in him. When you are a boxing superstar, a mega superstar in the UK, not just a Nigerian superstar. In fact, he just won £90 million barely a week before the unfortunate incidents. So, such a person who God has done well, he has faced his own challenges in boxing, but is doing well for himself. You know, after winning Jake Paul's match, he was on top of the world. It was like he had it all. What does he want to eat? What does he want to wear that he cannot afford? So it was in that euphoria of humility and joy that he decided to come home and spend quality time with his family members in Shagamu. So on his way from Lagos to Shagamu, he had an accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway that instantly claimed the life of his two friends. And from that moment on, of course, Anthony Joshua's history has been rewritten. In fact, the way we saw the video of how traumatized and drained he looked when he was taken from that vehicle to the police vehicle in front, the trauma on his face is something else. Even as at that day, he couldn't cry. There was just something. Anthony Joshua, if you follow him very well and you watch his interviews, he's one guy who is high on mental energy. His mental energy is so high. And when something that shocking happens to someone and he's not even showing, he's not crying out, it's even worse. To people who are in mental health, it's worse because, of course, he would have been crying and rolling on the floor. But you see that kind of strength we think we are seeing, it's not strength. Sometimes you don't even know how you want to grieve until that grief hits you. He was just dumbfounded, he was shocked, he's traumatized, his expression is just be like, what is this world all about? As in, few days ago, I won a match. I watched a boxing match, yeah, and I won £90 million. And within days, his friends are no more, right in his presence, in the very same vehicle. Now, Mr. Denny, who is the driver of the vehicle, has been charged to court. And the court sitting, I think, yes, he spoke. He said he wasn't reckless that. Yes, let me bring this on because a lot of people have not heard that. He said he wasn't reckless, that he had one of the tires of the SUV he was driving them in, it had it burst. And that was what led to the accident. According to FRSC, who also gave an account a day after the unfortunate incidents, they said one of the tires actually burst truly, but it was on high speed and he did a very bad overtaking. And that's why and how he had to hit the truck that parked by the side. So now the question, the court has said Anthony should go and spend some time in, that there will be a sitting again on the 26th of January to determine. Now, Anthony Joshua's brother, Abi father, Abi uncle, let's say uncle, big uncle, has decided to come out and share with us that, well, their son, Anthony, will not be going back into the boxing ring anymore. He said, Joshua has informed them that family members, this is the end of his boxing career, that is retiring due to the car crash, and that the loss of his two friends is something he can't even wrap his head around. Now I'm going to quote what his uncle said. The major thing there is that he has retired from boxing. That is one thing that makes us glad, because each time he's fighting in the ring, we are always carried away emotionally. Each time he's knocked down, it is just like the heart is coming out of our chest. All these emotional feelings whenever he's fighting is too much trauma for us. Also, now that he has said that he's living while the vision is highest, we are happy, says Adedamola Joshua, who granted an interview to the Punch newspaper. So, that we've had it already. So according to Anthony Joshua's uncle, Adedamola Joshua, he said, even before the accident happened, that anytime Anthony Joshua is having a match and their hearts go day inside their mouth like this, they'll be tasting their hearts in their mouth with shock and trauma, especially when it's heat. And you know the way those boxers, that boxing something, it's not a lot of us don't find it very interesting. No, I know some people are boxing lovers, and with all due respect, but if that's the only sport we remain for life, I no go watch them, because I still can't fathom while we are claiming we are doing sports, and what makes us win each other is to fún alẹ́ṣẹ̀ lójú, fún alẹ́ṣẹ̀ nímú, jìrọ̀ ní kùkù, àbí jókòó léra wọn kọ́ hit ara wọn gbèmù, kọ́ kí ẹnìkan mọ́lẹ̀, kọ́ wọn máa count 1 2 3, this is the winner. I find it very strange. That might sound traditional or local, but it's fine. But it's not a sport I enjoy to watch. Neither can I even imagine a member of my family being a boxer. Ìgbájú tẹ́lẹ̀ mi bá máa fún rẹ̀ mí báyìí, àdàpọ̀jù yàn ní yìnrán mọ́ ni. And even a lot of times, if you can go and Google it, a lot of times all these boxers who have been boxing for many years, their end of life, it gets as it be. Some of them have very, very strong muscle issues, neurological issues, and all of that. Don't let us even go into that, but it's just life. So now that Anthony Joshua has announced through his uncle that he's done, what else? Let's take some comments. Somebody said, I thought as much. I don't know how he can continue with so much guilt in his heart like nothing happened. I keep praying for you, champ. Somebody said, now if I use vex finish anyone he meets. Another said, talkative uncle, who made you his spokesperson? So somebody else said, I was expecting this, I swear. Another said, best decision, you always remain a champion. Another person said, oh no, Anthony, bless your heart. May God be with you on this healing journey. May Allah grant the deceased Aljana Fidaus. Somebody else said, I've said it before, because there's no way he could still box with those bad memories in his head. Too sad, but man, life happens. Another person said, this is no big deal. There is always a comeback in boxing retirement history. Another said, not a good decision. Somebody else said, it's the right thing for him to do actually. Those guys are more than friends to him. He might come back later, but for now, it is going to be very, very tough for him. Another said, Anthony Joshua, we all know that you would retire because it's not easy. If enter boxing ring without your friends around you, anytime you remember, you go just weak. Best decision for you. Another person said, it should carry on their legacy, not retire. Another said, I just knew it would get to this, and that's exactly what the devil wants, to break a tree that's with the branches. So sad. I pray for your strength to be renewed. Amen. Another said, this was what they wanted. So sad his friend had to buy so he could retire. All right, those are the few comments we can take. It's not really a happy podcast, honestly, because losing two friends in such a fatal accident is something that one can, there's even no way to analyze that situation. Okay, overspeeding, no. Okay, tire burst, oh. Okay, the driver fell asleep, oh. Okay, na spiritual problem attack, oh. Okay, na natural occurrence, oh. Okay, accident happens. It is an unfortunate incident. And there's no grammar. Yes, we can buffer it with any reason. It's fine, but it's an unfortunate incident. And yes, Adedamola Joshua, Anthony Joshua's alleged uncle, has said to Punch newspaper what I just read to us now, that is retiring, that Anthony is retiring. Yes, he can retire, but it's not something he had planned to do so, right? And the survivor guilt that Anthony will feel, this grief will not go away. Of course, life goes on, but it would always, always, always. I even heard that, I think it was Lateef Ayodele that was planning to get married. I can't just imagine what the family members are going through. I can't just imagine. But they've been buried yesterday. May their soul find rest. May Allah grant them Al-Jannah Fidaus. May God comfort. I saw in one foreign video clip, where Latif's mom was by the casket and she was praising God, talking to God. It's something that pierces the heart. There's no better way to analyze this. And I pray that, Anthony's friends, his family members need to be very close to him at this time. Because the kind of depression where the guy could do now, if you're hearing first class trauma, first class depression, now Anthony, he'll be blaming himself. Why? And this driver, according to the driver, he said he's been Joshua's driver for 3 years. I don't know. It's one of the worst incidents in 2025. I just wish those men did not pass away. I just wish they were still having another chance at life. And maybe, just maybe, our government will find this opportunity to do a world-class emergency hospitals on the highways. That is if we have our government to ban ní ọpọlọ. If we have functional government, this should have been an avenue where they would decide to say, on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, we are going to establish one hospital that will purely cater for accidental victims. The hospital will have active ambulances with high technology tracking, right? And air ambulance, because if, for example, they want to do carry out this kind of idea to situate that emergency hospital maybe around I don't even know. I don't know where to mention around that place. Maybe around where that incident happened, right? But people are coming from Lagos and people are still going to Shagamu and Ibadan. So there should be air ambulances that can quickly, when they are being called, people will know the phone number to call And when they are being called, taking off immediately. Kò ń ṣe pé ẹ ṣì máa fàyàn. No, the air ambulance will land there, carry the injured and go and take care of them in that hospital. It is not just Lagos Ibadan expressway. Ṣé nígbà tó yẹ pé àwọn other expressways wà gan to travel across, wàá máa gbàdúrà, ẹlòmíì àti gbàwẹ̀ 7 days before you can travel from Lagos to Kogi. Before you can even travel from Lagos to that small Ibadan, ẹlòmíì máa gbàwẹ̀ ni. Á gbàwẹ̀ lọ, á tún gbàwẹ̀ padà. Kí Fúlàní má gorí òun kọjá. Before, one of the best things that happened to us in Nigeria was the fact that you can move freely from one state to another. Gone are the days where people would joyfully enter all these long buses from Lagos to the east, to Onitsha, to Abakaliki, to Kebbi State, to Nasarawa, to everywhere. But now, if you want to even travel these days, you'll be so afraid that you can't be able to even tell your husband or your mother say you are traveling. And how many people can afford air travels? So if our government will listen, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kán gbọ́, but I don't know, something is wrong with us. Ọ̀rọ̀ wa Nàìjíríà má dàbí ẹni pé kò ń ṣojú lásán, because all these are government officers and everything. You travel abroad, you enjoy such amenities abroad. To come and duplicate it here and keep it running, no problem. But if it's to go abroad and see their tax system, I want to tax us out of our breath. Tó bá yá gan, ẹ máa gba tax for our breathing. Ẹ ṣe mẹ́yẹ bọ̀ lápò ni. Tó bá yá, ẹ sọ pé fún pé à ń mí èémí tọ́lọ́run fún wa lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lófò, ẹ fẹ́ máa gba tax fún. Those are the kind of things our government is good at bringing and coming to duplicate in Nigeria. But to go and learn their medical system, duplicate it here, the educational system, duplicate it here, babu. Except we subject ourselves to Shege Banza. And if we don't talk, we have accepted it. It was Anthony Joshua and his friends' turn last week. Who next? We are quick to say, God, please, oh, God forbid. Yes, God forbid it. But the people that it happened to, they didn't vex God, though. And also, a preventive measure I can talk about is also the fact that there should be speed limits. According to Daily Mail reporter who came to Nigeria to do the coverage, he said the road he saw, the Lagos Ibadan, because he was standing on Lagos Ibadan where that accident happened. The reporter said the roads are good. It's like London's standard road, and it's true. Lagos Ibadan Expressway is all the way smooth. But that the overtaking and the undertaking is atrocious. As in, that means it can't even phantom. The people are just overtaking anyhow. No speed limits. Gbogbo akọ̀ àwọn mọ́tò bí ẹni pé wọ́n kó gìbò wá lórí. Ẹlòmíì àwọn mọ́tò bí ẹni pé wọ́n ti súre fún mi tó ti ń bọ̀. And sometimes if you think you are adhering to safety rules, you are driving carefully. What of the other person who is driving like ẹni tí ọpọlọ jẹ́ tásí lọ́pọlọ? Because a lot of people are careful drivers. But nígbà tí driver mi tó ṣe bí tó ti mutí àbí whatever tó bá kọlu ẹni yẹn ńkọ́. So where is the safety we are talking about? So safety by one should be safety by all. Let's see if our government is going to learn from these unfortunate incidents and create and work on our medical facilities. It's supposed to be non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Yes, taxation has started. People have been talking about them being taxed and everything. Yeah? So let's see where it's going to head us. To Anthony Joshua, may God strengthen you at this time. May God give you a cause to smile again and a reason to live again. We can only pray. And for the two handsome men that lost their lives needlessly, may God give your souls rest and forgive all your shortcomings. That's all we can say. But as parents, as Nigerians, nobody is happy this is happening. And we are even more scared that who are the other people that will be involved in an accident in that same Lagos Ibadan. But of course, we will talk again and we'll be quiet. Kolon Kushanuwa. Rest in peace, Shina and Abdul Latif. And to Anthony again, may you find the strength to bear this unfortunate loss. We'll see you in the next video. God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.